I know.
Shabbat shalom, everybody. It's good to see you. Did everyone brave the traffic tonight? Not too bad?
Wasn't bad yet.
Not too bad. Okay. We are going to start with a nigun. This is a song without words, and so therefore everybody can catch on and sing it with Cantor Haas.
We've done this before, but... Yai lai la lai la lai. Yai lai la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai lai la lai. Yai lai la lai la lai. Yai lai la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai lai la lai. Yai lai 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 lai.
Let's hear it.
Yai lai la lai la lai. Yai lai la lai 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 lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai. Ya la lai lai la lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai nai na nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai na nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai na nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai na nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai 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 nai. Yai nai na nai na nai. Yai nai na nai 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 nai. Ya na nai. Ya na nai. Ya na nai. Ya na nai nai na nai. Yai nai 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 nai.
Before we move into Kabbalat Shabbat, this is our practice of praying and singing so that the transition from our hectic weeks, from the barrage of news that we are consuming, that it doesn't just happen magically, that we can take a deep breath and have this experience of rest and peace. And so we go through this service so that our bodies and our spirits and our minds can catch up. And so before we enter into Kabbalat Shabbat, I want to invite you to briefly find someone you do not know in this space. Joni, you too. To find someone you don't know, and just greet them, introduce yourself, wish them a Shabbat Shalom. You can even get up. You are allowed to get up. Now that we have greeted one another, we're going to join together in words from our psalmists. Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. We are so glad to see your faces on this Shabbat. We are on page 10.
Hine matov umanayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine matov We gather tonight at the end of a week that, for many of us, has stirred some pretty powerful emotions. And there are moments when we wake up with tightness in our hands and fire in our hearts, when the world feels heavy, unjust, or broken in ways that make anger feel unavoidable. Our tradition doesn't ask us to ignore these feelings. Instead, Judaism teaches us to transform them, to turn the anger into purpose, the passion into justice, and the fire into light. The poet John Rodell captures this transformation beautifully in his poem. This morning, my hands woke up before I did, already clenched like twin oysters at the end of my arms. My love, I woke up angry this morning. A blaze started in my heart. I know you feel this too, a building fury under our skin. What do we do when our rage catches fire? We must let it blaze into a song of blessing. Bless our tightened fists, not for striking, but for drumming the rhythm of change. Bless our burning voices, not for cursing, but for singing out for justice. Bless our restless feet, not for fleeing, but for stomp dancing towards hope. Bless our furious noise, not for chaos, but for shaking the sleepers out of bed. Let our fury become music that shakes the earth awake. Let our fury become music that shakes our earth awake. And when the music ends and our fire fades, let only love remain. Let only love remain. I'm crying now. Let only love remain. We are burning. Let only love remain. We are music. Let only love remain. Wake up, world. Wake up, sleepers. Let only love remain. Amen. Tonight, Shabbat invites us to do exactly this, to take whatever burns within us and bring it into this sacred space, to let our voices become prayers for justice, our footsteps to help carry us toward hope, and to let our community turn the noise of the world into music that awakens compassion. As we enter this sacred time of rest and renewal, may the fire in our hearts soften into something deeper. May our prayers rise together. May our community strengthen one another. And when the music of this evening quiets and the week's fire fade, may only love remain.
Amen.
We'll join together in Lechuna Ranena on page 10 as we raise our voices in song and celebrate this moment of Shabbat.
The English words are also on our handout, bottom left.
Lechuna Ranena, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, l'Adonai, yai lai 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 lai, l'tzur yisheinu. Yai lai God's light, we rejoice. So now let us listen with all of our hearts to hear God's voice.
We greet Shabbat in celebration with Lecha Dodi. We are on pages 20 and 21. We'll be doing verses 1 and 2 on page 20 and 5 and 9 on 21.
Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela. Yalalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela. Shamor vezachor, vedibor echad, ishmianu el hamyuchad, Adonai echad, ushmo echad, Leshem utiferet velitfila. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela. Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki hi mekor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshavat tila. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela. Shabbat, mekabela.
Top of 21.
Hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva oref kumi ori, uri, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alai et nigla. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela.
Bottom of 21, we rise and face the entrance.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'b'tzola, toch emunei am segula, boi chala, boi chala. Lecha Dodi likrat kalai, alalai, 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 pnei Shabbat, mekabela.
We are on page 28 for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu. We continue standing, and let's join together on the bottom of 31. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha veshinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך, ובשעריך, למען תזכרו, ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני, אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
On the top of 39. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Words of Mi Chamocha on page 40.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נעדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. Who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai. מלכותך ראו בניך בוקי הים, לפני משה ומרים זה אלינו, אנו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. Who is like you? Adonai, who is like you? Who is like you? Who is like you? Adonai.
As I was reading the newspaper this week, I turned to an Israeli newspaper, and one of the headlines has just really sat with me. Amidst all of the news that you would expect to hear in Israel, there was a headline that was giving parents advice for activities that they can do with their children while they're stuck in safe rooms, as the rockets continue to imperil them and keep them stuck within their confined spaces. And I've been holding that image and also the image of the girls' school that was bombed in Iran. 165 people killed, mostly students, in this past week. And so we hold all of those who are in danger in the Middle East. We hold them with us as we join in our Hashkivenu prayer, where we imagine a world that has a Sukkot Shalom, that has a shelter, a feeling of peace and security. And we sing those words tonight, hoping, praying, acting, as if one day it might still be possible. Let's join together on our supplement.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'Shalom, L'Shalom.
we'll turn to page 44 and we'll join in Vishamru. These are words that come from this week's Torah portion. It's the commandment for the Israelites, for us, to both keep Shabbat, to observe Shabbat, and really to see it as the precious gift, as the marker of time in our weeks that it is for reconnecting with what matters most in our lives. We're on the top of 44.
Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת וינפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת.
Our Amidah begins on page 46, and we invite those who are able to please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
48.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chasdei Avot ve'imachot, Umevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Umoshia Umagen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah, Rav LeHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach Umorid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofe Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך? מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We'll continue with words of the Amidah through page 62, or take some time for your own quiet prayer and be seated whenever you're ready.
Blessed love, holy love, sacred love, abundant love, source of love, let your love shine down on me. From below, from above, love I hope I'm worthy of, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me. Before the morning light, I already feel it shining. Before I open up my eyes, I already see it shining. When my road is rough, I can feel your love, and that's enough for me. Blessed love, holy love, sacred love, abundant love, source of love, let your love shine down on me. As above, so below, love from whom all blessings flow, oh source of love, let your love shine down on me. On me and the ones I love shine from below and from above. Protect my family and be a light in me. Shine on me and the ones I love shine from below and from above. Protect my family and shine through me. Be a light in 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 me.
when the Gaza war first broke out, my daughters came home from school and asked me what was happening in Israel. They're fighting with their neighbors, I told them. But why, they asked. I paused and I tried to think of an explanation that might make sense to my 4 and my 6-year-old. And finally, I said, the people there don't know how to share. Even as I said these words, I understood that this was not a satisfying explanation of Middle East politics. But at the moment, it felt like the only answer that could meet them where they were. Developmental psychologists have long observed something about children that every parent already knows intuitively, that children are driven to make sense of the world. The Swiss psychologist Jean Piaget famously described children as constructing mental models to explain everything that they encounter. More recently, the cognitive scientist Alison Gopnik has described children as little scientists, constantly forming theories about why things happen. But because their cognitive tools are still developing, those theories are often simplistic, beautifully so. When something confusing happens, children search for a single story that will make the world feel more coherent. And so we adults, we try to help them along, trying to offer simple enough explanations that hold their anxiety at bay. But the truth is that as adults, we're not so different. The world is bewildering. Wars erupt, economies rise and fall, communities struggle with crime, with inequality, climate, migration, housing. These are vast, interlocking systems, but complexity is exhausting. And so just like our children, we may search for something or someone who can give us a simple answer. And in this week's Torah portion, Ki Tisa, the Israelites do just this as they face terrifying uncertainty. Moses, the man that has followed them into the desert, that they followed into the desert, the man who promised them freedom, the only man who can speak to their invisible, unknowable God, ascends Mount Sinai. And he doesn't come back, at least not when he said he would. Days pass, and then more days, and the mountain remains shrouded in a cloud, and they start to panic. They turn to Aaron, Moses' brother, and the people say, "Make us a God who shall go before us. For that fellow Moses, that man who brought us from Egypt, we don't know what has happened to him." We do not know. This is their crisis. The Israelites aren't rejecting God or renouncing their covenant. No, they just want a simple answer to a complex question. Where is the God who will lead them into safety? A God that they can see and they can touch and they can know. And Aaron, he obliges, gathering their gold and famously fashioning a calf. Suddenly, there's something that they can see. There's something that they can point to, something that reassures them that God remains present with them. But the Israelites soon discover that their quick fix isn't really a fix at all. The golden calf provides neither the certainty nor the reassurance that they seek. Instead, their simple solution creates deeper problems, rupturing their relationship with God and threatening their very survival. Ultimately, their covenant must be rebuilt, making their journey longer and more perilous than they had imagined. 3,000 years later, this yearning for a quick fix has not faded. For every generation faces crises that challenge simple explanations, and yet simple explanations always seem to be readily available. 1 week ago, the US and Israel launched an attack on Iran, emboldened by the idea that a single cruel and murderous dictator single-handedly stood in the way of peace and security in the region. And though we celebrate the end to his vicious reign, we earnestly pray that this war will ultimately resolve the threats to Israel and to the rest of the world that's posed by Iran's nuclear capabilities and its terrorist network. We've quickly discovered that this situation, like most, cannot be reduced to a single person or a simple solution. Meanwhile, our Jewish community seems to be dividing again along overly simplistic lines, pro-war or anti-war. And yet the layers of decision-making processes in the US, the motives of leaders, the long-term repercussions for the region, the security of Israel, the future leadership and stability of Iran, the impact on Jews worldwide is all, as we know, much more complicated. As New York Times columnist and Middle East expert Thomas Friedman writes, to think clearly about Middle East wars, you need to hold multiple thoughts in your head at the same time. It's a complicated kaleidoscope region where religion, oil, tribal politics, and great power politics interweave in every major story. If you're looking for a black and white narrative, you might want to take up checkers. And though Friedman writes about the Middle East, he may as well be writing about any part of our lives, from the global to the individual. Crime, traffic, inflation, immigration, climate change, they're all complex issues requiring complex solutions. So too are the problems that we face in our own lives, in our workplaces and families and relationships. And yet, how often do we find ourselves drawn to the hollow promise of easy answers to these profoundly difficult issues? But that is when we realize that we are being drawn into the idolatry of our ancestors. The allure of the golden calf is its promise of immediacy and simplicity. It assures us that we don't need to tolerate uncertainty or complexity, that we don't need to do the slow and steady work of growth. Just do this one easy, simple thing, and the problem will be solved. Just get rid of immigrants, and crime will vanish. Just build another lane on the interstate, and the traffic will disappear. If only. Just lower the interest rates, and everything will be cheaper. In each case, we reach for what seems like a single lever, a decisive action that will make a complicated system suddenly behave. We search for our golden calf, a simple solution that promises immediate resolution. And sometimes, one simple change, it really can help. But all too often we discover that the deeper work, whether it's geopolitics or our own lives, is slower and more layered than we had hoped. The Israelites learned this lesson the hard way, but thankfully, we don't have to. Instead, we can acknowledge with compassion that we, like our children, desperately want the world to make sense. That we, like our ancestors, anxiously feel the need to know that everything's going to be all right. We don't need to dismiss that instinct. We just need to refine it, to hold the child's desire within each of us to understand the world, but to let go of the expectation that the answers will always be clear or simple, to seek out and to embrace multiple perspectives and ideas that thwart our search for one single narrative, to resist the allure of easy answers to complex problems, whether they're offered by our leaders, our loved ones, or even ourselves, and to trust that truth, just like our relationship with God, emerges not from quick certainty, but from the patient courage to live with complexity. May this be the enduring lesson that we learn from our ancestors' journey, and the blessing that we offer to our families, to our communities, our nation, and certainly our world. Shabbat shalom.
And one of those blessings that we can continue to offer week after week is the Mishaberach, a prayer that we say when we are in need of healing either for ourselves, for our communities, for those in our lives. So if you're thinking of anybody today that is in need of healing, be it of body or of mind or of spirit, I invite you to share their names with us out loud, and we will take them into our hearts and join together. Alex? Melinda?
Kevin West.
Marilyn Weiss, Mark Weiss. Take all of those names into our hearts as we join together on page 253, the middle of the page for Misha Berach.
Aleinu can be found on page 282. We once again invite those who are able to please rise.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגוער עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 287. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום
Words to prepare us for Mourner's Kaddish are on the top of 291. It is hard to sing of oneness when the world is not complete, when those who once brought wholeness to our life have gone, and naught but memory can fill the emptiness their passing leaves behind. But memory can tell us only what we were in company with those we loved. It cannot help us find what each of us alone must now become. Yet no one is really alone. Those who live no more echo still within our thoughts and words, and what they did is part of what we have become. We do best homage to our dead when we live our lives more fully, even in the shadow of our loss. For each of our lives is worth the life of the whole world, and each one is the breath of the ultimate one. In affirming the one, we affirm the worth of each one, whose life now ended brought us closer to the source of life, and whose unity no one is alone, and every life finds purpose. As we recite Kaddish this Shabbat, we especially remember Rabbi Andrea Weiss, who served as the provost and head of the rabbinical school at our seminary at Hebrew Union College, whom death has taken from us recently. And we link her name with Minnie Brockman, Charles Brucker, Pat Cohen, Shirley Crane, Cantor Joseph Seisner, Rose Freeman, Marilyn Garber, David Gersten, Joshua Gluckstern-Rice, Joseph Goldenberg, Rose A. Goldman, William Haber, Richard Hammerman, Fanny Harris, Eric Herzog, Meyer Isaacman, Irving Kausman, Jay Leance, John Lenahan, Boris Loshek, Shirley Mantel-Friedman, Eva McGraw, Eve Millman, Manuel Myers, Maria Panetta, Sidney L. Palmer, Michael Radford, Goldie Rosenbaum, Morris Rothbart, Rosalind Simon, Samuel David Solway, Carol Levy Webb, Elmore Elm Weingarten, Ida Weishart, Israel Mike Weisbrod, and Anne Wolkove. If there are other names that we should add, or if I mispronounced the name of your loved one, I invite you to share their name out loud at this time. We also think of all of the victims of violence in a world that is overwhelmed with violence, and that each one of us must be a part of moving closer towards peace. We join together in Words of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294 and invite those who are able to rise. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach irate v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach leolam olamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha berechu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mermav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be a blessing and a guide to all of us.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom
Shabbat Shalom. And if you have not yet signed up for Yom Limud, Sunday, March 22nd, many learning subjects, we hope you will register after Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.